Hey, I'm Red. Last week NF released a new single called Clouds. I've broken down the sound selection and music theory behind this beat, so after this you'll know not only how it was made, but you'll also know how to apply the techniques used in this song to your beats. I'll also give you some free loops if you stick till the end. With that said, let's begin. The first thing we need to start remaking this beat is a pizzicato. That is the strings that play throughout the track. For that we have two options, either the big pizzicato strings on X-Band 2, or if you want the free option, the pizzicato preset on C-Truss. In this case, I'll use the one on X-Band 2. So the progression is pretty simple. First, add a harmonic minor scale. In this case, we're using the D-sharp harm minor. We're using this scale because it has a bunch of the dissonant notes, meaning notes that are very close to each other. This gives the beat a more dark and creepy feel. This is a great scale for dark trap. Now the progression goes like this: root, third, and root note. By that I mean you put the root note, which is the first note of a chord, and after one beat you put your third, which basically means skip one tonic note. So if the root note's here, then you put the third here. Now to build the progression, we are going to use these two notes right next to each other to make the melody feel darker, so let's use those. Now let's put the thirds and once again the roots in the end. Done! Now since this feels a little empty, let's add a second third one octave lower, like this. And that's it, that's our pattern. Now apply these effects to that. EQ out the high end, add some hall reverb, and lastly a bit of flanges. This is what that sounds like. Now we need a hard effect for the transition, so for that add a kick, add a bunch of reverb, render it to audio, now cut out the beginning and add a second reversed version. This is what that sounds like. And lastly, add a vocal chop. For that I'll use this one shot from a bass 1 kit, now add some reverb and delay. And done, that's our first part. Now for the second part, the melody doesn't change a lot, but just add a second version of the strings but make it one octave higher, like this. And also add a sub-bass that copies the root notes of our melody. And lastly, add a crash riser. And done, that's our second part. Now for the last part, we need to make this as loud as possible. So the first thing we need is to add a choir. So for that, simply use the female A preset on X-Band 2 and copy and paste the root note of our chords. Also copy and paste the notes one octave higher. And add these effects, EQ out the high end and some reverb. Now add another pizzicato string pad, copying the exact same notes, but make it one octave lower. And finally the drums. For that we need 4 things. 1. A hard 808. For that use once again the root note of our melody, place one note on every bar and cut it after half a beat. 2. Snares. Layer 2 snares together and add a bit of reverb to get that hard hitting snare sound. 3. Add some simple soft hi-hats. 4. A kick progression. And that's about it. That's how to remake Clouds by NF. Before I play the final beat, if you want to download the melody loop I made in this video, there's a free download link in the description. I upload 2 beat breakdowns a week, so if you want more of this, subscribe, and as always, see ya. Also, I just released a new loop kit called Paperboy. I will release a new one and send it to the people in my mailing list for free, so if you want to be a part of that, there's a free download link in the description. See ya.